Hello everybody, Resonance here, and today I'll be giving you all my commentary on Game 4 in a best of 9 series played between the two teams, TyRanT Warlords and KGB. This match was of course part of the round-robin stages of the War is Coming tournament that is currently being hosted on Voobly, and you can find more information on it as well as links to download the replays on Aoe2 Zone in the video description below. I will also have links to watch the rest of the War is Coming matches and or other expert games with my commentary in the video description as well. For the most part, I will be casting individual matches rather than the entire series because I don't have time to do a quality analysis of so many games. That being said, today's game between RiuT and Venom is one that I am very excited to show you. While this was not the closest game in the tournament, there were some absolutely immaculate plays in this match, and I want to walk you guys through the decisions that led to a very convincing victory. As always, I love to hear your feedback, so feel free to leave me a comment and tell me what you think. Normally I prefer to cast the closer games in a series, but I saw so many well-executed plays in this game that I just had to show you guys. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump straight into Game 4, which will be a 1v1 on the map Arabia. In the top right half of the map, we have KGB Venom playing as the blue Aztecs. And on the bottom left half of the map, we have TyRanT RiuT playing as the red Aztecs. So like I said, guys, the theme of this game is going to be on the little things. You know, in an Aztec mirror match, 1v1 on Arabia, both players here very, very evenly matched. It's going to be the tiny, minute differences in their play that are going to make the huge difference here. And right off the bat, we can see that RiuT already has a fantastic game plan going on here. His houses are positioned very, very carefully. I really like this house in particular, and I know this seems like it's really, really minor, but trust me, it makes a huge difference, and this is the type of thing that I'm going to be highlighting this game. See this house here? He is going to be able to use this. He can put like a couple palisades here or another house to make like a makeshift wall off, and if enemy units like militia start coming down over here and trying to harass his economy, he can easily just close off this little area and protect a lumber camp or a mining camp that'll be over here. He can close this off. This house over here as well will allow him to put a lumber camp on this side, so even something as early as within the first 30 seconds of the game, RiuT already making some very, very important plays. Where you put your houses at the start doesn't always matter in a lower rated game, but in these high level Age of Empires 2 matches, even something as small as where you put your houses can win you and lose you games. Something that's already kind of fascinating is we see how early Venom is getting this board. This is definitely earlier than usual. Usually you'll see maybe like 2 or so more villagers created before the boar comes into the TC. Usually the lumber camp's already up, and he's going for this boar right off the bat, which makes me think that Venom is up to no good whatsoever here. His scout already also going incredibly far forward, which means that, well, we take a look at the early boar lure from him. See the scout going forward? I think he's going for a boar steal. In fact, I expect him to grab his other boar right about now as well for multiple reasons, but one of them definitely is to deny RiuT the boar steal if he wants to go for that. Now, RiuT is going to go for a more standard boar lure timing around the early 3 minutes. He's already got his lumber camp and his 3 villagers, very standard opening from RiuT here, and Venom is going to be just in time to nab one of these boars as soon as he finds it. He's currently looking around, does not see the villager, which is A-okay. I'm sure he'll find that boar eventually. Yeah, and again, we see the first boar coming in from RiuT super duper early, and at the exact same time, Venom is getting his second boar at exactly the same time that RiuT's getting his first, and it looks like Venom is going to find the boar right about now, which is pretty good, so he'll be able to go nab that from RiuT. I'm not sure whether or not RiuT saw the scout coming in, but either way, he will be able to go nab this, and what's nice about this is that, like I said, this is a 1v1 Aztec mirror. None of these guys come in here with an inherent advantage besides like player skill and or their map generation. So they're going to have to do something to give themselves an edge in this game on the strategy side of things. And Venom already going to pull ahead by having 3 boars and RiuT only having 1. The thing with hunted animals that makes them so very important in Age of Empires 2 is that your villagers actually gather food from the hunted animals faster than they do from, say, sheep and or forage bushes. So hunting the boar is super duper important and is going to give Venom an early lead. No boar here for RiuT to steal, as Venom has already started gathering from all of them. He's keeping his sheep as well close to his TC so that RiuT won't be able to pick those off with his scout either. So Very immaculate play from both guys. I don't really talk about the map too much because I feel like that's something that is focused on a little bit too much, but it is important here in this case in that RiuT's map, incredibly easy to wall off. And he, like I said, he can close this area off. He's got a great position to back gold. And he'll be able to close this area off if he so desires. In fact, he could probably stonewall off this entire area here. Front stone, not the best, but yeah, this map is very, very easy to defend, and Venom's is a little bit more open here. You can see the way that Venom has positioned his houses in the early game is also quite solid in that he'll be able to, close this area off. But I definitely say that I like RiuT's initial house placement a bit better because this house right there will protect against the Drush. Now, if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, we're talking about Aztecs, right? And the Aztecs start with 100 gold rather than 50, and what this means is militia, militia, militia. People are going to be putting down an early barracks, of which RiuT is actually going to be just in time to delay this slightly, pull this villager off, so well done on his part. Everyone's going to put down an early barracks. This is what the Aztec, this is like their biggest strength, really, although they have plenty of selling points, of course, is that you can put down a barracks and you can make 5 militia. Militia costs 20 gold, you have 100 instead because you start with an extra 50. So you don't even have to mine any gold. Normally for a Drush you can only make 3 villagers and you gotta mine 10 gold from the gold mine, walk the villager all the way over to the TC, and well, if you're playing Aztecs you just make 5 militia, and it can give you a huge, huge early edge. While militia don't win in a straight up 1v1 fight versus a villager with loom, the point here with a Drush is to maim, not to kill, is to take your opponent's villagers off the line, make sure that they have to fight you back. The thing is if the enemy villagers are fighting your militia, they're not gathering any resources, and that can make a tremendous, tremendous difference. Like I said, guys, it's the little things. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And, well, militia coming down here, some deer being lured in. We already see some very, very interesting differences in playstyles. What I like here is that RiuT has responded. He knows that he has... Well, he's missing a boar, right? He knows that it was stolen by Venom, so what he did, and I like this, is he put down a mill over here and he's going to start harvesting from these deer, which is very, very smart, and that will basically make up for not having the boar. Now, he does end up losing 100 wood here, having to build said mill, but it's still better than not hunting at all. The militia coming out, and of course, going for the Drush will delay their feudal age as well. It's 5 militia, that's a lot of food down the line. I do like to see that Venom as well, making a solid play here, gonna lure the deer in. Not necessarily the closest deer lure, but he can only do so much. Militia coming out, RiuT patrolling right here, so that's absolutely fantastic. He is going to be able to see these militia on the way. No surprise here. I would be surprised to not see a 5 militia Drush. So no one here is surprised. Militia coming in. We'll see how RiuT responds. He's got his own 5 militia and the beginnings of a makeshift wall off. This is good. Now again, he has cut this area off, but he will be able to close it, and this is a little concerning for Venom when I look at RiuT's map, is he probably has the edge here, as his map is much, much easier to wall. However, Venom is the aggressor in this case, which has some benefits in its own, in that RiuT now has to use his Drush defensively since Venom's was there first, and part of that was due to the fact that Venom had the extra boar, and RiuT was missing one. Some good maneuvering here from Venom is he's actually just going to catch RiuT by surprise. RiuT is going to be on the wrong side over there, and Venom is going to be able to swing in on this. Notice how Venom is trying to not take the fight on the hill, because the hill will give, if you attack a unit on a higher elevation than you, that unit takes less damage and deals more to you. This is a little precarious micro situation, though. Venom's going to have to be really careful here. He took a lot of damage on a militia for free, as it was in the wrong side, and wow, RiuT here... Oh my goodness, so he puts the Eagle Warrior on the hill again, getting a little bit of an advantage. Venom here has the hill. He does on some of his militia, but RiuT's going to pull in a couple of villagers, and Venom does not pull out fast enough. He's going to lose everything except... Oh, okay, this militia might actually get away. So, this right here, absolutely game-changing. Venom, while, he has been a little bit behind in score, that's due to a multitude of factors. For one, RiuT has more farms, which inflates his score. But Venom had an extra boar, and that really, really matters. RiuT had to put down a mill, so Venom was winning, and then due to, another minor micro mistake here, as Venom is going to lose a militia as it just barely stops in place. What I like, RiuT's going to pull away 3 of his militia because he doesn't need 4 to chase after only 1 militia. Very, very efficient, and it looks like he is going to juke RiuT, or RiuT just doesn't care. Yeah, I guess he's just going to go let this militia go. It only has 15 HP, it won't really be able to do anything here, and it's just going to die. So, this right here, I know that happened incredibly quickly, but that was just incredibly good micro from RiuT. RiuT was able to position his scout on the hill just a little bit earlier to get a little bit of extra damage, outmaneuver the militia. He already got to do a teeny bit of damage to Venom before the fight even started, which was also very, very important, and well, not only that, he pulled off 2 villagers off the line. Venom should have pulled back there, but he wasn't able to react in time. If he pulled back sooner, it would not have been so bad. Now, here's the thing. Venom right now is setting up for a really solid wall off, and he sees the scout here from RiuT, which is on like super duper low HP, so he's going to be really careful about that. He's going to put down these 2 buildings, and he's going to try and close off this area, I assume. By seeing the scout, he knows that the militia are coming in here from RiuT really, really soon, so I expect him to try and like emergency wall this area off ASAP. He's gonna have to be really careful because those dudes are closing in at light speed. And the palisade's coming down. He's working on a quick wall off, and ooh! Oh my god, he's actually gonna get the quick wall off. That is one of the better quick wall offs I've ever seen in Aoe2 right there. Venom just barely closes this off. He knows he won't be able to close off his palisade entirely, so he puts down the emergency house, which is twice as wide as a palisade, puts down another palisade wall, and he will be able to save himself from RiuT's delayed surviving drush. So we look at this situation right now. RiuT ahead, 3 militia, looking pretty good. However, this quick wall-off will kind of negate that, and it looks like RiuT is going to lose a couple of these militia here as he is not quite watching, so Venom gets a couple of militia for free, and game is kind of evening out right now. It could be anyone's game here because of good play on both sides. Venom comes in with these militia, gets barely out-microed by Venom, loses his guys, isn't able to pull back, and RiuT responds by sending in his own militia. Great quick wall off here from Venom, able to defend it, gets out an early archer, takes out a couple militia, and, well, Venom survives another day. But when I look at this situation again, I think it kind of favors RiuT based on the way the map is set up. I mean, he'll be able to close off this area if he wants. Really, again, the quick wall off is just the way that he uses his buildings. Both players are using their buildings and those little palisade walls and houses to close their base off. It favors RiuT in this case because his base is just much easier to wall off based on the position of the forests. So let's be able to close this off, put like a palisade here, close this area off, and hell, he could even stonewall it if he wants and just go straight for the castle age as everyone's doing right now. He'll drush fast castle, pretty common. Venom here going to get a couple militia for free, so that's fantastic for him. Once again, things are evening out. Venom very close to the castle age, RiuT also very close. Very, very neck and neck at this point in the game. Archers coming out, we're going to head on over to the castle age. And the nice thing with the drush, guys, is that you'll be able to keep your opponent busy and out of your hair. And what this means is that you get to basically fast castle, which is normally really, really, really risky. But you can go straight to the castle age after your drush, usually. Make a couple archers. Both players here are going to transition into crossbowmen. And this is what separates the men from the boys here. This is the really hard part of the match. Both players have been very, very even at this point in the game, but this is where we're going to see some huge, huge differences in playstyle that are going to decide this. Town center coming out here from Venom. What does RiuT have? No TC. He's opting to stonewall his base. This is critical. This is really, really critical, as the crossbowmen are going to come in here from Venom. Very, very well predicted here by RiuT. He knows that the crossbowmen are coming in from Venom, and, well, they're going to come on this side because, again, Venom knows this side was not walled off. He saw that with his militia, right? This side was not walled off yet, but he knows the rest of it is walled off. Crossmen going to get denied. The crossman from RiuT, however, he's going to be grouping those up a little bit. He's behind a little bit on the military side of things. So we just take a look at the military side of things. Actually, no, they're actually literally even. Completely even at this point. So really, it's just going to boil down to the micro in this case. RiuT going to move out. Venom, again, got here first, and being the aggressor is really good in this type of situation. You definitely want to be the aggressor, in that if you're attacking your opponent and he's forced to respond to you, then that means that you get to do whatever you want in your own base. And the fact that there's a town center coming up from Venom and there's none from RiuT means that Venom is going to actually start pulling ahead. The fact that they're even in military is actually surprising to me, considering that there's a TC here. But this does mean, though, that RiuT will start pulling ahead in the military side of things because he has more cash. Crossbowman over here. He's going to have to be really careful to not get those picked off by RiuT as RiuT's coming in. And Venom looking for a place to pick off some villagers. And look at this! This is so good! He sees the Crossbowman coming. He knows they're going to swing around on this side. And RiuT retasks his villagers to this tree, which are just barely out of range of the Crossbowman. The Crossbowman will not be able to snipe any of the lumberjacks, which they normally would be able to snipe them if they were chopping the trees they were before. But because they're chopping this tree, Venom gets nothing. And now RiuT is free to reassign those as, well, Venom's got to pull back. He didn't get squat out of that, and that was huge. So doing something like that really pushes you far ahead. And another great play from RiuT here. He's going to pick off a couple crossmen that Venom had in the wrong neighborhood, and he's going to be focusing down this house, which will destroy a little bit of wood from Venom. And, well, I like the Siege Workshop response here, but this is not the place where I would have put it. Everything's easier in hindsight, of course, guys. But yeah, like, this is not the most optimal place for a Siege Workshop, as Venom's going to lose like 4 villagers here trying to put this up. He knows he has to build this Siege Workshop. Why? Because he doesn't have enough crossbowmen in his base to defend this. He just lost a couple, so right now he's at a slight, actually a more than slight military deficit. Losing a couple crossmen there is really bad. And he also went for the TC again, so he's inevitably going to fall behind RiuT in military production, who RiuT's just basically all in on this. He's got stone walls. He doesn't care. This Siege Workshop is at like 99%. Really sucks to be Venom right now. He probably committed too hard on this. This was really risky because it was like right in range of those crossbowmen, which have bodkin arrows, so they got super long range. He's going to lose a couple villagers here again, not able to pull out on time. Very unfortunate for Venom. He's going to try and retask those villagers. A bunch of them get sniped off. Good focus fire by RiuT. This Siege Workshop not going up, and this is really bad. When you're at a military deficit here, especially in these Castle Age crossbowman fights, well, the solution, always, when you're behind the Great Equalizer, I've talked about this before, oh my god, he's going to lose a couple more villagers, super duper bad, is the Mangonel. The Mangonel can trade, like, for upwards of, like, 5 to 10 crossmen for the price of 1 Mangonel. Absolutely fantastic, great way to worm your way back in the game. It's good micro here, as he's going to get a free shot on some of RiuT's guys and pull out in time. You can see Venom as well employing the good use of his villagers. He's going to put them all on a gold mine that's out of range of those crossmen. But he's at a military deficit. He has to put down a second Siege Workshop, and, well, too little too late for Venom, I think. Just losing all these villagers, putting that Siege Workshop down there. While this does close off this area, and he was really concerned about RiuT getting into his base, oh my god, he's going to lose so many villagers here due to unfortunate mismicro there. Yeah, I mean, that's basically a game, like losing 200 wood like that, and oh my goodness, RiuT here with the patrol, gonna get a couple free shots off on Venom. Tiny micro things here make a huge difference, and actually he's probably gonna lose most of this army to RiuT. Although he could have actually committed to that fight, considering he did have that outnumber, but he's gonna pull back in. Well, it's basically a game at this point, and I know this was a very short and not necessarily close game, but there were so many really tiny, fantastic plays here that defined this game. Like, this was basically a near-flawless Aztec mirror performance from RiuT, so I don't really do too many 1v1 Arabias, and yet again, very well microed by RiuT. He's going to take the one crossbowman that Venom is focused firing down, and he's going to walk it perpendicular to those shots to just juke them all, and that way RiuT takes a fight that he has no business winning, and he gets to win it. He knows the Mangonel's coming, he pulls out, and yeah, basically like a flawless performance from RiuT here. Besides losing like 1 or 2 militia, like, he just kind of nailed this match. This 1v1 Aztec mirror. Normally, again, I would try to focus on matches that are more close, because I think those are more fun to watch. But by looking at this one, I hope you guys see that there are like little things that really set these players apart. Oh, just check out this sick micro on the Mangonel. RiuT playing Venom like a violin right now. Gonna just keep in the minimum range of this Mangonel. Venom can't fire a shot. And the Mangonel's gonna go down, although Wolf MVP here is gonna get a crossman. No, he's not! Mangonel down. With that, Venom's dreams of winning this game, and while he played this match quite well too, there were just a couple things from RiuT that were just so good. Like him knowing the crossmen are coming and just retasking those villagers to the trees. Oh, that's so stellar. I love seeing stuff like that. You know, something as straightforward and simple as a 1v1 Arabia mirror can be absolutely fascinating. Just seeing how the minute differences in play can make all the difference. And Venom here, recognizing the game is far beyond his control, and he is going to call it GG, which is totally fair to do so at this point. So, a couple things that I want to go over, just a brief recap for you guys. So, Venom stole the boar in the early game. Very good play on his part. Got to catapult him a little bit ahead. How does RiuT respond? He mills his deer, which allows him to still kind of remain relevant. And this little early eco lead here from Venom is unfortunately thrown away as the Drush fight just goes completely awry and in the favor of RiuT due to some very, very strong micro. However, Venom responds appropriately as the remaining militia come in here. He is able to get the quick wall off on this side and pick off a couple militia for free. So, game completely even. Where does things really start to differ? In the Castle Age. Venom goes for an initial early town center. Very greedy, but it could certainly pay off. And it was working out until, well, Venom was not able to get anything done. He was the guy who was, again, opening up with the initial aggression, which you usually want to do. You usually want to force your opponent to respond to you the entire game so that you can boom off the back. And he knows that Venom knows that he has to be the aggressor here because he's got the extra TC, right? So he wants to keep RiuT out of his hair. He goes in on this side. RiuT walls this off. Perfect response. Venom decides to swing around the other side. RiuT takes his villagers, responds by chopping a tree outside of their range. Venom gets bupkis, has to pull back. By the time that RiuT's guys get here, well, Venom is screwed because he has a couple crossbowmen here which should not have been here. And then those all get picked off by RiuT. RiuT already had a small and steady growing military lead because of no town center from him. Again, great decision to stonewall here. Stonewalls, man, they're real powerful. And he manages to pick up a couple crossbowmen and get a little bit of a military lead. Venom responds appropriately, realizes that he is behind a military. What does he need to do? Exactly, get out a siege workshop and build some mangonels. Mangonels, guys, the great equalizer. That's what you gotta do if you're behind. However, siege workshop mispositioned, and the siege workshop does not go up. And that was really bad, because he lost a lot of villagers here as well. Villagers not retasked to the right side. They're gonna get just picked off by RiuT's crossmen. So, like, really the siege workshop was the main decider here. Like, Venom really felt the need that he had to close this area off, but he wasn't able to. He really feared that RiuT was going to be able to squeeze his way in, but putting the siege workshop over here in the first place might have been better, because, yeah, it didn't go up, he lost all his villagers, and that was basically GG at that point. So, yeah, again, not the closest game in the tournament by far. In the future, I'll probably be focusing a lot more on the more epic matches of the tournament, but, just to mix things up a little bit, I don't think I have, like, a single 1v1 high-level Arabia game on my channel. Well, I mean, like, from AOC, not like the Aoe2 HD stuff. So, yeah, why not? This is something a little bit more standard. Hope you guys enjoyed this anyway. Let me know what you think. I'm assuming most of you guys prefer a little closer style of things, but, why not upload something a little standard every now and then? And plus, in the spring with my incredibly variable health and, with all the work I gotta do, it's hard for me to cast an hour-long game, but this one's close enough. And I really hope you guys learned something and that this helps you understand a little bit more of the bigger picture. That's my theme when it comes to Aoe2, guys, is understanding the bigger, or just in general, understanding the bigger picture in gaming. Because, yeah, really anyone can tell you the, like a play-by-play style thing, like, oh my god, the crossmen are moving in, but I think it's important to understand why the little decisions that these players make really do matter here, and how they can really catapult you and snowball a lead. And, it's one thing to look at, like, oh, he's put 3 villagers on the lumber camp, but it's important to understand why. And if you understand why the players do certain things and why these are good, then you'll be able to apply those things to your match. And a good chunk of Age of Empires 2, you kind of have to wing it. That's like a skill that I feel like is very tricky to learn. Because, you're not always going to get a very straightforward map and Civ matchup. Sometimes you just have to wing it, and by understanding the broader concepts, you'll be able to better understand what you need to do when you're in an unfamiliar situation, especially when you're playing on something like Mega Random, for example. Well, might have to do something weird. And yeah, you can see this game, again, incredibly even, super duper even, and then that's when things fall apart. At just the last couple of minutes, here was also pretty bad when he lost all the villagers, when he lost all the militia there. RiuT responding quite nicely. If Venom pulled back there, that could have been huge. That could have been huge if he pulled back his militia in the early game. Gosh, when I look at someone like RiuT play this good, oh my god, high-level Aoe2, guys, it's like an art form. He knows the crossmen are coming, and he pulls all of his villagers onto a different tree. He retasks them onto a tree that's outside of their range. Those little things will win you games and win you tournaments, and that is why TyRanT Warlords and TyRanT Legends is so scary. Of course, that doesn't go without saying that KGB has a handful of incredibly good players as well, and this match was looking real close. Real close. Okay guys, so I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. as always. It's been a while since I've been able to get out a War is Coming game or just an expert game for you guys. I know that you all seem to really enjoy them, and the overwhelming positive response has been phenomenal, so thank you so much for all the support as always. You know, during the, I talked about this in my, I made like a little recent update video, so feel free to go watch that if you're curious a little bit on what's going on with my life, but it can be kind of tricky for me to find the time and energy to go do this type of thing in the spring, because normally I'm very, very sick. But I did finally feel, I'm starting to feel a little bit better today. I woke up this morning, I'm feeling great, and you know, when I'm feeling great, the first thing that I think of is, let's play or watch some Aoe2, because damn, this game kicks ass. So yeah, I hope that you guys understand the 1v1 Aztec mirror a little bit more in the future. You know, I'll probably be sticking a little bit more to the, to the more epic games of the tournament, of course. So that's what you can expect. But let me know if this is good too. Something a little bit different, something to mix things up. Thank you guys, as always, for your continued support and patience. It's appreciated. Just to let you guys know, if I'm not uploading, it's not like I feel like super obligated to do this type of stuff. You know, I don't consider it like busy work. I don't wake up and I'm like, oh my god, I have to do this. I love doing this shit. So when I'm not like uploading or doing commentaries, it's not because I'm extremely lazy. I am extremely lazy, but laziness only matters when it comes to things that you don't enjoy or you don't really feel like doing. I do this because it is super fulfilling for me and super fun. So if I'm like not uploading, it's probably because I'm feeling really shitty. But I'm feeling better now. Here's some Aoe2, and yeah, let's have a toast to some more Age of Empires 2 and other awesome games in the future, guys. Take care, have an awesome day, and I'll see you all next time. Maybe a little bit of a closer game, but you know, hopefully you found this informative in some way or another. Alright, thank you for watching as always, guys. I'll see you all next time. GG well played. GG well played.